sometimes it comes to this one. So the better quality looks and the more.
I like how this nigga Dinwiddie talking like he ready to win a chip, man.
He's gonna need just being 6'6", athletic, willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Welcome everyone to Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Round 1 matchup. 2-0 so far. Perhaps the tide can turn this one. And tonight our matchup, we'll see the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Basically it got to a point where my mom said, come on now, you're going to be a Laker. Can you just at least clean it up? I thought I would have cut my hair off.
David Aldridge joins us from the sideline.
And you know what I mean? My mom has a lot of sway on some decisions that I make. So that's the inspiration for them. And the two, the playmaking. You got to go up and run a lot of high splits, guard to guard. Ron also is a little man sometimes. How do you feel like your playmaking can get along with that? Because you guys were like 6-6 over the last couple of years too as well. Low turnover guy, pretty good with the assist and whatnot, and obviously somebody's over and try to find it. Basically when I'm playing basketball, I'm trying to look for the best play available. The first 16 seconds in the shot clock, and then
here's Dick out.
All bets are off. Obviously for all the guys, I'm more than willing to do so.
I like how this nigga's talking, bro. He making me feel like that 16 point per game did with it. 16, 18 point per game did with it.
Iverson passes to Marbury.
The pass, my family is big time, right? Everybody else is not going to miss that. Right over the top. High school, all that, it's the whole nine, right? My mom and dad pretty much trying. My mom, not my dad, but basically it was a very emotional moment for them from the fan standpoint. That was the first one.
To start a new streak after losing on Monday.
For me, you gotta remember, when my high school career started, up and down, not being ranked high,
they just never looked engaged, which is surprising considering how close the game is.
Pac-12 freshman year to Tony Rowe, who had a very much better year, very clearly better year than I did, so second, but he deserved it. I'm not saying he didn't. Still wasn't, super heralded. By the time I got really kind of any type of notoriety or anything like that, it was my junior year, and going into my junior year, it was pretty much guaranteed that I was going to get drafted from myself. So, then I had to get a second-round pick and not play in Detroit, fight through that, get to Brooklyn, average 20 points a game, be ready to get paid again, 10 wins, you know what I'm saying? And so every time I've been met with
that's crazy. It's crazy. I remember when Dinwiddie started to pop off, bro. I was a fan, bro. I'm still a fan of Dinwiddie. It just he kind of went in the wind, so I kind of forgot about him. But I remember he was even getting all-star votes that year, bro. When he was averaging 20 that year, bro. I remember that shit.
Ended up being.
Here's Dickow after the made shot from Allen Iverson. And that one's good. Glover.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Here's Hastings. An easy 2 points on the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Took the opportunity when he saw it.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Here's Hastings. Excellent D there from Ratliff.
and not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him. And the 76ers making a change here. Outlaws checked in.
Number 45, Bo Outlaw.
That's why you ain't hearing about.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Passes it to Abdul Rahim. Good work there as it goes.
And you know what makes Abdul Rahim so hard to handle in that low post is the number of moves he has. It's just a matter of which one is he going to use.
Here's Marbury. Here's Hastings. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
1:30 left to play in the first quarter. Dickow, the pass to Glover. Hawks passing it around. It's 3 pointers off the mark. For Philadelphia, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. The shot's good from Hastings.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Because when you're on, basically when you're on the court in your career,
Hastings grabs the board.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Here's Iverson. Mr. Hastings. Atlanta with the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Well, Iverson can dish it out just about as well as he can score. I mean, instinctively finding the ready shooter there.
Last 2.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
This one is cool because it's close to home. 3 hours drive, so more of my family. But it's always hard to get off of. You guys, the 2 years, kind of up and down. A couple highs. One out of 3.
No shot in for Philadelphia. Up here comes in for Van Horn.
It's a decent chunk of time. It's good if you guys have hit a stride or sometime.
In a sense, I mean,
The Hawks trail by 3.
you start to find something, that goes down. You know, so that's
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter.
But I think for the most part,
Outside Robinson. Atlanta again missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Here's Iverson. Johnson with the defensive effort. And it's Allen Iverson with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Mitchell outside.
Even when you play well, you're going to lose the game, but I think we are figuring it out.
There's the pass to Ham. Front past the arc. And that one released in time, but no good. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. 76ers on top.
As one of the leaders of this team.
They're up by 3. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Atlanta.
Even with a day like today, we're kind of walking through.
And we're back with you, all set to bring you more action from Game 3. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
And guys, they've done a great job keeping their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
Cultivating a lot of assists right now, which is beautiful to see. Well played, working that Here's Hastings. Headed by Robinson.
$10,000 or more. Here at 3 Easy Solutions, you can start implementing today. And number 3 is an absolute game changer.
Little ass nigga.
The first step to tackling your credit card debt is understanding.
Here's Mitchell.
Hey everyone, welcome to Locked On Lakers for Tuesday. Brian Kamenetsky, Andy Kamenetsky. We are expecting to do a lot of Nets scouting reports, but not on Spencer Dinwiddie. That's coming up next.
You are Locked On Lakers. Your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, that's on purpose. Don't want to build no lead.
Second quarter basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Thanks, everybody, for making Locked On Lakers first listen to every Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends, no matter how or where you get podcasts. It's always free. It's never behind a paywall. And Locked On Lakers on YouTube is great to go hang out with over 23,000 subscribers, all of whom are really wondering what this activity thing is going to look like. And I know, like, we had been preparing to reach out to Adam Armbrecht, the host of Locked On Nets. You can also find his work at WeGotNets.com. Check all that out. We were like, dang it, like we're going to have to do it's going to be about Royce O'Neal. It's going to be a Dorian Finney-Smith. Whoever the filler is to make the salad. Did you get a hidden gem together in that deal? No, it turns out it's Spencer Dinwiddie that we're here to do the stats report on. Are you at all surprised, Adam, thank you for coming on, that this is how things turned out?
Well, I guess if I was going to put on my Lakers, hat for a minute, this is, wait a minute. So what? We didn't get Dejounte Murray. We didn't, move D'Angelo Russell, who apparently is back to playing great basketball for us. We didn't get Dorian Finney-Smith. We didn't get Royce O'Neal, right? If you were going down the list, this would have been something didn't work out for us. And maybe this ends up still being valuable, but right from your guys' perspective, this was not the path for the Lakers to get one. They seem to come up short on whatever their agenda was.
Well, I think it's potentially an issue depending on how you look at it of coming up short. I think it's potentially an issue of not really having the resources to make some of these deals, particularly in what is, I think, really revealed itself to have been a seller's market. And when you look at, I know we'll talk about this later on with you, when you look at, say, the deal that transpired that led to Royce O'Neal going to Phoenix or some of the other deals around the league, I don't know if the Lakers could have ended up piecing together. But in the meantime, there was a lot of reports about disconnect and just intent between the Nets and Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, from your perspective, what happened with, because this is his second go-around with Brooklyn. The first one probably was a pretty happy experience for Dinwiddie, but what, from your perspective, went wrong?
It was a good story here. There's a lot of time. Last time this franchise, you think of the superstar era with Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
It's pretty cryptic, though, so I wonder if cryptocurrency changed.
We did at one point, I don't think it was caught on. We did refer to Spencer Dinwiddie as the entrepreneur, right? There's a lot going on beyond the game of basketball, but it's interesting. When we think about Spencer Dinwiddie, ironically, the negative foul and got injured for the Washington. Not getting paid the first time around. Eventually goes to Dallas, obviously highly successful behind Luka. But coming back, there was only one report, very loosely speculated, that when they got him back, Spencer Dinwiddie from Dallas, that they wanted to talk about extending it. That this was get back, even keel, get away from the superstar era. And Spencer Dinwiddie obviously represented one of the better times in the next recent basketball history. Something disconnected there. Even if it was only a small play. Because it went from Spencer Dinwiddie
really trying to make these niggas win.
Cameron Johnson, Jordan Finney-Smith,
They got a charge?
to him being on the outside looking it down. Always mentioned when he talked about
his game is cheating?
In days, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. This core going forward.
Bro, how do you get a charge when I'm already,
so I don't know if it's
touching basic,
or if it's just that maybe this team, especially without having Ben Simmons for a long stretch to start this year, surprise, surprise, that his role was just shifted and looked different even than it did to the 27 games last year when he came over for Dallas. So, I don't know. I'm a little surprised, given the general goodwill between player and organization seemed to be there, that it looked like Dinwiddie got to a point where it was, I no longer want to be here. I don't see this as being my best option, maybe on an expiring contract to get the next big deal for himself.
There is a ton of inconsistency with his output over the course of his career. It seems to be that he performs better on good teams when there's something sort of to play for, but broadly, never been a particularly good three-point shooter, never been a particularly efficient scorer. That said, when Dinwiddie is right, when he's going well, what does he bring?
he brings secondary ball handling for sure, and you saw this not only last year, but even beginning of the season, which only makes the drop-off or disconnect that much more alarming. Because at the start of the year, he was one of the better players. His on-off numbers, he represented the most consistent option of that kind of secondary in the area in backcourt, and Tom's not ready to take on that role. So secondary ball handling for sure. Need him to run the point for some possessions. Of course, he can do that coming off the bench. He's also a good floor spacer. Listen, go back and look at his time in Dallas when he plays with Luka. The beyond the arc numbers are phenomenal. Career high numbers. They dropped off dramatically coming over to Brooklyn last year initially, and then it dropped even further this season. He's below 29% from beyond the arc. He's below 40% from the field right now, so all these numbers look alarming. But if you put him on a team with LeBron James, with Anthony Davis, with shooters where the spacing is there, he has pretty good offensive shoot numbers, right? He's north of 35% shoot threes. I think one of the downfalls, whether or not he's getting towards 31 and he's slowing down a little bit, the Brooklyn Nets had no spacing on this roster. So that's really going to mitigate some of the things that he does well, including getting at the basket. Go back to the Dallas game.
The first one falls. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Size, good defensive player for what he is, not an elite shutdown guy. But they had him playing up and playing some of the best players offensively. So you slide back into where he's supposed to be, right? Veteran guard, running off the bench, the floor, hands the ball a little bit. You've got a quality player that elevates what you currently have on the bench for LA.
Okay, I want to check back in about the defense in a second, just because that goes counter to a lot of the reputations. So that's potentially a very pleasantly surprising thing to hear about. But offensively, what is the utility off the ball? Because that is one of the things that works, at least offensively, with D'Lo and Reeves, for example, is both of them can have utility off the ball. You want the ball in LeBron's hands, but he is shooting well from outside. Like, what does he provide, either as a shooter or cutter or anything like that, when he doesn't have the ball?
Yeah, I don't look at him as being a guy off ball who's going to be giving you a backdoor cut, right? So LeBron with the ball in his hands and finding him there. You think about models like I think Reeves represents this, very active off the ball, right? He's going to run wind sprints to try to get himself to that spot. That's not really Dinwiddie's mold. He is more of a off-ball, stationary, wait for your look inside of a more superstar-driven roster. So I don't think you're going to get those type of cutting actions off of him. I think if you're running some high double screen actions near the top of the key, if he's going to go ahead and maybe be triggering the ball, get into LeBron James' hands, work some of those screens, and then get into the mid-range game, he's comfortable there as well. So I think you can find pockets for him in and around the paint, something that he didn't do a lot of for Brooklyn, mid-range shooting. But I think that actually will function a lot better with LA, because again, you're talking about all of your front court can also shoot and score. The Nets didn't have that, so it really mitigates what is probably one of his better strengths if we're talking about floor spacing and then maybe finding shooting pockets for himself as well.
All right, let's get into this defensive question here next, because obviously, well, I mean, you put it in quotes, but you're putting him next to and comparing him to D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves, both of whom who have struggled, to say the least, this year on that side of the ball. So it actually is conceivable that Dinwiddie could provide, at the very least, a small upgrade or not make things worse. So talk about defense, and we'll talk about just how high the asking price really was for Dorian Finney-Smith. All of that next. This is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. We are the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and then watch the winnings roll in. And it is demon time on Prize Picks. You can now win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Demons and Goblins are the newest and most exciting way to play at Prize Picks. Squares marked with red demons or green goblins get you different payouts, and Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, like today, every Tuesday. Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. Plus, it's an excuse to get yourself some tacos as part of the theme, which is a win in and of itself. Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay as well for quick and easy deposits into your account. this basketball season. So go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use the code LockedOnNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
As an investor in Acorns, which is a saving and investing app, I'm excited to be partnering with them to launch the first ever Mighty Oak debit card. While other cards are built for spending, ours helps your money grow with 2 of the highest APYs available. And whenever you get paid, you can automatically allocate pieces of your paycheck to your investment account, your retirement account, an investment account for your kids and babies, and your emergency fund. Grow your oak with the Mighty Oak debit card today.
What is a home warranty? It's a 1-year service plan that helps cover costs when parts of your home systems and appliances break down due to normal wear. Home warranties protect what home insurance doesn't, so that everything in your house is protected, including your budget. It covers things like your AC, fridge, water heater, and plumbing. Things you may not have the skills, time, or extra cash to take on. Here's the best part. There's just one name to remember when a cover item breaks down. Ours. Contact American Home Shield online anytime or by phone. You'll pay a fee.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Reminder, the Lakers play the Pistons tonight at 7:30 p.m. That's every Lakers game on the broadcast.
That is not going to be an easy injury to bounce back from.
Lakers. Okay, Adam, the defensive issues with the Lakers backcourt, particularly at the point of attack, have been a problem this year. Austin Reeves tries his hardest at everything he does, but is including leaving shitters open. Right, he has a real tendency to overcall things.
You gotta try out regular. Sometimes you can get thrown up against the wall and it turns out not defending at all. That I think is a problem.
With all assets, even his mistakes, there are extreme mistakes. Don't start trying to clean up other people's stuff. Take care of your own roof. Is how I would put it. But he's trying. You can't fault the effort. Russell, loses first, but he's trying too. He's not very good at it, to his own admission. Where can Dinwiddie help? You mentioned a little bit of potentially as a guy who might be able to get people up. If you're not asking to guard Kyrie or something, and fit into a team defensive scheme.
Yeah, I think again, it's when you compare it to Brooklyn, they have to just pick up the best shooter, right? Go defend the best shooter on the other team for stretches here. And that's mostly because, Cam Thomas, still learning, right? He's an effort guy defensively now, which is a big leap forward for him, but he's not good defensively at this point. And Dinwiddie, if you go look at it, for D'Lo, 6'3", right, small backcourt player, Reeves said, listen, a 6'5", I don't know, but also under 200 pounds. So even just from a size standpoint, that's sort of a thin team. So when we refer to, Spencer Dinwiddie, one of the bigger bodies in backcourt, it's not saying a lot for Brooklyn, but it would be saying something for the LA Lakers, right? Just a guy, he has good length. I think he has one of the better reaches for backcourt players, too, in terms of wingspan. So that's, I think, what his biggest benefit is. He's quick enough to stay in front.
Hawks making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Outlaws checked in.
He's okay going with players to the basket. He can actually do a decent job impacting shots going towards the rim. Again, am I going to sit here and tell you, everybody clear out, let him go ahead and lock up, as you say, Kyrie Irving? No, you're asking for a problem there. The hard part, probably for me, to give Lakers fans and say no to that is effort. Because one of the things that we look at is that there's a lot of players that we look at. There's certainly a lot of effort closeouts, right, scrambling. And over the course of the season, we actually stepped back and said, well, sometimes the scrambling looks like effort, but it's actually just being out of position, right? It's actually just not being where you're supposed to be on the court. So that's something I wonder about with Dinwiddie in terms of not getting lost in the defensive scheme, especially if there's an adjustment here in terms around where is Anthony Davis' responsibility, where is LeBron James going to be. The benefit here is that
nothing is stopping him.
1:44 and left in the third quarter. Passes it to Marbury. Here's Hastings.
Oprah thought she had the leverage, but Monique showed she actually had the leverage because she had the ears of the people, which is why Monique is applying pressure now on Oprah and Calipari, and people are scattering and doing PR work. Now, Monique also revealed that she has a beef with DL Hughley, which is really not shocking, right? Because Monique and DL Hughley has been beefing for a while now. The most recent beef before her comments on Club Shay Shay about DL was when they was both interviewed at a comedy show. Now, apparently, DL refused to go on stage with Monique. So Monique went on stage and sort of carried him out for refusing to go on stage and perform after him because he felt as if he was too good to be an opener for Monique. But Monique said that she signed up to sign her contract to be the headliner. So DL now trying to undermine the contract and go on stage after her isn't going to fly. She's not going to chance it.
When you have that general touch, those chip-ins are easy to come by.
But only if you grind hard enough to get yourself in tight before the shot goes up, guys. You got to get your work done before the shot goes up.
That's what the motherfucking contract says. Monique is to be the last motherfucking person on the damn stage. She is the headliner. That's what I signed the fuck up for. I'm third trustee in this motherfucking business, and I don't open for no goddamn body. The contract says the headliner. The contract says the headliner. The contract says the headliner. But a nigga like that music turned into a bitch.
It's a different kind of defense teams play in the postseason, much more intense, more in your face, high energy plays.
I can understand why Monique would feel as if DL Hughley is undermining her when he plays that
you open. She closed.
But both things could be true. Monique could feel as if she deserves to be a headliner, and DL Hughley can also feel as if, yo, I've been in this game for 30 years. I'm not opening up for nobody. I feel like both those things could be true. But apparently that blood was already there because DL Hughley went on tour and criticized Monique while he was on tour. And Monique took note of that. And she made sure to bring that up while she was on stage in Detroit. Now, apparently while this is all going on, DL Hughley is backstage listening to everything.
I don't fuck with nobody. I don't fuck with no motherfucking body. But when you cross the line with me, nigga, you have crossed the motherfucking line. And that bitch, nigga, has crossed the motherfucking line. See, we got a history, nigga. We got a history. That nigga went on tour talking about all of these.
And we're with you again as our round one coverage continues.
Yeah, we were doing what they call our working when I wasn't working.
By 15.
Bullshit. And nigga, you put your feet under my motherfucking table. So you came to my home, nigga, and you put your feet under
the pass to Johnson.
I don't get down like that.
Back to Mitchell.
You gotta be strong. You talk about young guns and the big names. Give me your MVP now. What the fuck does it stand for?
Down low. Down low. Down low, Hughley.
I'm always against any creator who opens up their mouth and speaks on what another creator deserves. If Monique is going to war with the executives and the infrastructure and telling the infrastructure and her audience that they're undermining her and underpaying her, and you as a comedian go on tour and think that Monique is being difficult and that Monique ain't
what do you do about G's?
To me, that's just crazy and ludicrous. And don't get it.
They're doing too well right now, man.
Right? Because if Monique somehow manages to raise the pay bar, right, for a black comedian or other comedians, once the clip of Monique starts viral, he will say all you have to do is check the order of names on the ticket stubs from last night, and you will see who's confused. Against my better judgment, over the objections of my team and 4 other occasions where I said no, I decided to take a chance and work with Monique. Oprah was the problem, Tyler Perry was the problem, Charlamagne was the problem, Steve Harvey was the problem, Lee Daniels was the problem, Netflix was the problem. Now it's my turn. At some point, it can't be everyone else, it's you. Lesson learned. I didn't have anything personal against Monique. People paid a lot of money to laugh, not to hear about your contract. Apparently, the role you played in Precious turned out to be an autobiography. I wonder who DL would then go on to share a memo document that he states is his proof that he was always the headliner and that Monique is just outright lying or
Bro,
Monique
stop
come
it.
back by sharing her.
Yo, these niggas are going on Club Shay Shay.
She will say that the
That's crazy, I'm saying that.
is a memo.
These niggas are going on Shannon Sharp's podcast.
DL official contract.
And they exposing niggas, bro. And this shit be the niggas who always get blackballed. And now it's their turn, bitch. And now these other niggas
because while on Club Shay Shay
shriveling up.
Some never before heard details as to why her and DL
hugging me
in the first place. Which somewhat explains why he even went on tour and said that Monique don't deserve that.
You know, for me, the passing has been fantastic all night. Everybody loves watching this style of basketball where the ball moves and players move. Coaches, fans, and even us broadcasters can appreciate that kind of action.
And the other thing I've met DL on several occasions. I don't know DL like that. Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know, since I've interviewed Cat, had several conversations with him, do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
right.
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family. Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yeah.
DL usually is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forth, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, if you want to play a game? But I want to play. I said, sure. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's right. It's like they didn't know they were talking to an Oscar woman. Now I can understand when people get involved and you ask that person to a model or a porn star. Okay. But you were asking that question to an Oscar woman.
That is wild, nigga.
Her husband sleeping with a dick.
And you know, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
Like, what answer was they expecting? Now, the worst part about this is that they was representing DLU because this is DLU's radio show or radio station, and he just wasn't there that day. But Monique gave them a pretty profound answer, and she called DLU. Now, according to her, when she contacted DLU, his response to exactly what her concerns were or to what his employees did wasn't a response that she was expecting. Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they're doing the same thing in the studio. They're going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? But we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother.
Nasty word.
Yeah. I'm going to call my brother. I called D.L. Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah. Huh? That's how he responds. Yeah.
I wouldn't look too deep into the tone because I've been told I have a real dry tone as well. And folks will interpret that as me being rude when I'm just talking. So his tone, I wouldn't put too much stock into it. But what were his words? Exactly what did he say?
Right? Hey, D.L. Yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with the team, and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather, and it was like stupid. Like, asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, D.L., how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, Chris Keller's talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying.
There's always something with these two. There's always a type of underlying hostility. And it's unclear exactly where the underlying hostility came from. Now, when Shannon Sharp posted his podcast, it took yall usually approximately 3 seconds to respond back to Monique's claims. Now, he claims that Monique is just a flat-out liar.
But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And look, my co-host Jasmine
tells the story.
A game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather.
DL.
I was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive. Like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints. I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I hadn't been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. We didn't, because I respected her wishes.
That's just what I said about tone and perception. His tone could come off as dismissive to Monique, but from his perspective, he could perceive it as, yo, I thought I was being genuine, and I thought I was showing how concerned I was and caring I was for Monique. She could perceive it differently. It doesn't mean that any party is lying. It just means that they perceive his words and his tone a little different. Now, he would also say that Monique's recollection that he was out here, like, just kicking her back in and talking about her filthily on multiple occasions is not true. He would claim that when Monique asked people who are good with the internet to go ahead and find those clips, he's saying that those clips don't exist because he never said it at all.
It's also befuddles